Hey friends, Kim from Stamping and Scrapping Imperfection. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, make sure you click subscribe and click the bell to get notifications every time I upload a new video. Today I'm playing with some fantastic Scrappy Tails craft goodies, and I'm playing with Kendra's Card Challenge number 10. Now, Kendra's Card Challenge number 10 is about to end, so if you have not grabbed those free cutting diagrams and card sketches, make sure you do so. I'll put the links below. And also make sure that you, if you want to participate and potentially win some prizes from some of the sponsors from the challenge, you need to do that in the next few days because Challenge 10 is ending. Challenge 11 will come out in July. So here you can see the goodies I got myself from Scrappy Tails Crafts. I was very excited to place this order because I haven't ordered from Scrappy Tails in a bit. For no good reason, to be honest. And she's since come out, since the last time I've ordered, she came out with some beautiful gems and gem mixes. So the purple ones are sparkly gems with flat backs, and the other package is a variety. It's got some pearls, some different colored gems in a variety of sizes, and some floral clay slices. So I was pretty excited to see that she has started her own line of those, and her new papers are also pretty fantastic. So I decided to check out her papers, and I got this 6x6 paper pad. These are double-sided heavyweight cardstock, and they have a nice glossy sheen on both sides. This particular pack is 24 sheets. It's got 12 different designs. You can see the designs as I flip through this. You get 4 of each design, and with Kendra's Card Challenge, I only need to pick 6 pieces of the 6x6 pattern papers. So it's going to take me a while to pick those. I also decided to go ahead and get some the Hello Butterfly die set and the Spread Your Wings stamp set from Scrappy Tails, along with the coordinating layering butterfly stencil. So I'm excited about this, and you can see it's going to take me a bit to pick out what 6 papers I want to use. So I'm going to use Kendra's Card Challenge number 10. It has 6 paper cutting diagrams, so each of those 6 pieces of pattern paper will get cut according to a different cutting diagram here. All the measurements are on there. Then she has her 15 card sketches that go along with it that tell you exactly which paper to use and exactly what size mat it's going to need behind. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out all my papers. And when I do that, I sort each paper into a different envelope so I can keep them organized. And I also pulled out my cardstock scrap bin because I'm going to use as many of those scrap cardstock pieces as I can to create the mats for my cards. So I'm excited about that. So I have all my stuff organized, and the first thing that I want to do is I want to do some techniques to create the butterflies. So I'm going to go ahead and do a bunch of stamping and die cutting. To start with, I pulled out a piece of watercolor paper, and this came from my scrap bin, so it was this size when I started. And I pulled out a bunch of Catherine Pooler's inks that I thought would coordinate nicely with the papers. I've got Ginger, I've got Uptown. I want to say this minty green is wintergreen, but I can't remember, and I can't actually see it at the moment. I have Sauna, I have Deck the Halls, I have Apricot, and I can't remember what this light green one is. And the name is not bold enough for me to actually make it out on the video, believe it or not. So I squished a little of each of those onto my Teflon mat, and I'm going to go ahead and spritz them with water, and I'm spritzing my watercolor paper. I just want to dab these colors with a big paintbrush onto my watercolor paper, and I want to allow them to spread with the water. So I dab them on and swish them around, and I really try to keep that water on the paper. I really want it wet, and I'm careful about that. I was pretty careful about the colors that I picked because most of these will blend together nicely if they touch on the paper. The ones that I know won't blend nicely, I will not allow them to touch. I really love that that spreading watercolor look, and I think it always looks pretty. When I'm done, this will be a pretty background if I wanted it to be, but what I really want to do is to stamp it and die cut it. So I picked where I put my stamps down to get the biggest variety of colors in each one of those butterflies. I'm also going to, you can see I also have the butterfly die that I got, and you can see the hello sentiment die. It's not only the sentiment, but it's also got a shadow die behind it, and I love that because I feel like it gives me a multiple different ways to use that sentiment stamp that will give me different looks. I'm making 15 cards here with these 6 pieces of pattern paper and the scraps from my scrap bin and these goodies I got from Scrappy Tails. So I want to have a nice variety of different things. So techniques are my favorite thing to do. So I used my Misty in case I needed to stamp this more than once. I really like my black stamping on colorful backgrounds to be nice and bold. So the Misty allows me to actually stamp it multiple times without moving my stamps and paper. So I'm careful about that, and I like the way that came out. Now the coordinating die with this stamp set was a really pretty intricately die cut butterfly. So I'm going to actually die cut a couple of those, and I'm going to end up fussy cutting all these butterflies out because I don't have a die that will cut them for me. So I'm going to go ahead and cut them out. And I don't remember whether there was a coordinating die at Scrappy Tails, but I will link the Scrappy Tails shop below, so definitely check that out because Sabrina has some amazing products, and her dies and the interactive things that you can make with her dies are just amazing. She's designed them so carefully. So I got all that stuff cut out. I managed to get a couple of those die cut butterflies cut out of that paper as well before I used it all up. So I'm all ready to go ahead and start putting my cards together. And I'm really only going to show you one card-ish today because 15 cards is a lot to watch some person make. So I will share some of the cards on this video and some of the cards on my Instagram channel, which is just stamping_imperfection. So please check that out and follow me on Instagram. So I pulled out the pattern papers that I'm using sketch number 1. So I pulled out the pattern papers and I cut out the mats that the card sketch tells me about. It gives me all the dimensions for the mats, all the dimensions for the pattern paper, and I'm just going to now put it together. So I'm going to pick one of my favorite glues and just adhere all these pieces together, and then I can work on adding decorations and sentiments and things like that. So once I actually got that card all put together, I was just trying to decide which butterfly. I decided I wanted to put one of the die cut butterflies on, and I want to add one more final touch. You'll see me pull out my Versamark ink pad. I'm going to use my tweezers, my reverse tweezers, and I'm going to cover this whole thing with Versamark ink, and then I'm going to pour clear embossing powder on top, and I'll go ahead and heat set that. And here you can see a second card that I'm making. I think this is sketch 6. I'm using my pattern paper. It's got this fun little detail in the sketch where you just snip it down the center or at any point on the card and fold those 2 pieces back. I'm adding a glue dot to hold those back, and I'm really having fun working my way through all 15 of these cards. So you can see me putting this one together, and I love that everything is all cut by the time I get to this point. I've created a whole bunch of butterflies to use. I die cut a bunch of those hello sentiments. I will no doubt use some of the sentiments in the stamp set itself, and if I want different ones, heavens knows I have a vast collection of stamp sets with sentiments that I love, and many of those are from Scrappy Tails Craft. So I also am adding a little black detail here around the edge of my card. At least I think it's black. You can see I pulled out a few more different colors here, peppermint scrub and royal treatment from the Catherine Pooler line to coordinate with the paper. So I'm going to pop this up on some foam, and then I'm going to put that butterfly on top. And if you notice that butterfly off to the left there, just above my glue, that is one that I covered with that clear embossing. I just pushed the top of the butterfly, the front side of the butterfly, into my Versamark pad, and then covered the whole thing with clear embossing powder. And I love the effect. You get this beautiful shiny die cut, and people have asked me, where did you get these die cuts? I made these die cuts. Like, that detail is so pretty. I'm going to add some embellishments and call this card done. So here you can see the cards that I completed, and I just love these goodies that I got from Scrappy Tails Crafts. And she's had a new release since I purchased these. I feel like the card variety that I've been able to make with this collection from Scrappy Tails and with these templates from Kendra's card challenge, I think this is a lot of fun. It's going to give me a nice stash of cards that I can pull out and send for various things. Now, I'll have all the links below. I would love it if you give this video a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe. And I will have all of Kendra's links below. You definitely want to hop on to her Facebook group so that you can get card challenge set number 11 when it comes out on July 1st or 2nd. So thank you so much for watching, friends, and I hope you have a very creative day.